Last night, Arknights China had its 2.5 anniversary stream, which came along with plenty of announcements. There was a ton of stuff shown off, covering about a 6-month period of content. Most of it was focused on the 2.5 anniversary, but there was teasers for things in the future, including a SilverAsh story, which is very exciting. There was new units, new skins, returning game modes, multimedia, some new merchandise if you're interested in that, as well as a new minor collab and quite a few other small little updates to the game. I'm going to take a look through everything that was announced, and I'm also going to provide my thoughts and what I think of each announcement and what I'm most looking forward to. First, there was the announcement of the 2.5 anniversary event called Nearl Light, featuring the new limited operator Nearl the Radiant Knight. It turns her from a 5-star defender into a 6-star duelist guard. She has an absolutely gorgeous design. I love the look of this unit. Her live 2D is absolutely stunning. It looks fantastic, and on top of that, she looks like a very interesting unit to use. The most unique thing about her is she is the first operator outside of the robots who will bypass the deployment limit. When you use her skill 2, you can deploy her when you have no deployment space, but she'll only stay out on the battlefield for a short time. However, in that short time, she is an absolute killing machine. Her second skill, it increases her attack, and she gains 4 shields. It's what it was on stream. Each layer of shield blocks an attack. As they demonstrated on stream, she's really good at going up against those slow attacking, big lumbering enemies, because she can take 4 of those hits. When the skill runs out, she automatically retreats and has increased redeployment. However, if the most recently deployed operator is from the Kashmir faction, then the redeployment doesn't increase with each retreat, which is really interesting. In fact, there was quite a few operators where they talked about synergy between the Kashmir faction. So it looks like we might be seeing more of that, similar to how Skadi and Gladia boost Abyssal Hunters. I think that's one of the ways they can add more units and make them a unit that in isolation might not be that strong on paper, but once you combine it into a team of units from the same faction, then you can see a great boost in strength to that unit. Her skill 3, instead of being a fast redeploy, this is where you get a bit of that Rosmontis skill 3 flavor. So she summons this brilliant sun, this massive sword that lands next to her, and it stuns enemies. And whenever she attacks any enemy being blocked by the brilliant sun, she does true damage, which is absolutely incredible. In this video, they demonstrated her going up against the Rat King, and she absolutely annihilated him. She looks like a very good unit, both gameplay, design, and I like the unique aspect of her skill too. Definitely a unit I'm very much interested in. Of all the things announced on the stream, this is easily one of the things I'm most excited for. Other units announced for that event, there was Flametail. So she's the non-limited 6-star coming along with Nearl. So she is a Vanguard in the vein of Texas, plus she's got a little bit of Mountain and a bit of Siege. She seems like a direct upgrade to Siege plus Texas in many ways. She blocks 2 enemies like Texas and Siege. Her unique trait is dodging and then doing bonus damage every time she dodges. Whenever she dodges an attack, she double strikes in retaliation. Her first skill is that standard DP gain that every Vanguard has. However, her one also has the additional bonus of guaranteeing a dodge on the next attack. Her skill 2 is similar to Texas. She does that big AoE rain of damage, but unlike Texas, it's physical damage instead of arts damage. And she also gives dodge to herself and allies within range of the AoE. On the stream, I believe it was 50% dodge for that short duration. And remember, every time she's dodging, she's double striking back. And then her skill 3 removes the team play aspect. Instead, she gives herself increased attack speed, increased attack, increased block, and she gains plus 80% physical and arts dodge. In the video, she was just constantly double attacking and just shredding through enemies. Yeah, she looks like a very good Vanguard to have a front line of Vanguard in the similar role that you would use Siege. Siege has really fallen out of favor. I'm not a big fan of Flametail's design. Unlike Nearl, whose design I absolutely love, Flametail to me looks a bit goofy. I don't get the plastic arm drape, and also the one-eared guard is weird as well. And why does she have a giant calculator on her waist? I'm not a fan of her design, but she does seem like a very good unit to use there. The 5-star of the banner is Corroserum. They didn't show him off much, but he is essentially a 5-star Ifrit. And Ifrit is an excellent unit, so if he's anything like Ifrit, he's guaranteed to go into the top 10 5-stars. Ifrit's single line AoE arts damage is just fantastic. The welfare operator for the event is Wildsbane. She's in similar style of Flametail, but to me, she looks way cooler. She is a DP on kill Vanguard, similar to Bagpipe, or Reed, or Vigna. However, they didn't really show off her abilities, so we don't know what she'll be like. And there's a new robot, Justice Knight. He's a sniper robot. I always love the robots. Then there are going to be 2 other new operators getting added to the red certificate store, Pudding and Honeyberry. These, by the way, these are not replacing Ethan and Breeze. They're going to be alongside them. I think their designs are absolutely stupid. I can't stand the dopey looks on their faces. I just think they look really dumb. And also Pudding is a chain caster, the worst class in the game. So she's very likely to instantly go to the worst 4-star in the game slot. Honeyberry is another medic that they didn't show off their abilities, so we don't know. Who knows? Maybe Pudding's chain casting might do 1,000 damage a second. We never know. I do appreciate the 27 free gold certificates there. The final new operator is from a collaboration with the 9-Colored Deer, which is, as I understand it, it's a Chinese cartoon from the 80s, something I've never heard of before, but the design of this unit looks awesome. I love the look of this unit. Very beautiful colors, very much in the style of Dusk. It looks really pretty. Of all the game content announced, this is the one element that we may not get in the West. There have been other collaborations in the past in Arknights China that have not come over to the West. So we never know if we're going to get this or not. I really hope we do, because I love the look of this unit. There was a whole bunch of new skins. Many of them are very exciting. Very cool skins, including one for the MVP. So the first big skin, what I'm sure many people will get and be very excited for, is the Masterpiece skin for Rosa. I absolutely love the full art for this. How it looks like a painting at the top and then it transitions into the real character towards the bottom. Looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Then there's the Heritage skin for Pallas, upcoming 6-star operator. Then the Forgotten Abyssal Hunter Andriana gets her skin, the Silent Arrow. Not particularly exciting skin for that one. But then the best skin and the most rightly deserved skin. Myrtle gets the Marching Band skin. And not only is it a cool looking skin, it is the free skin. Super excited for this. Myrtle absolutely deserves every skin she gets. She is the MVP of Arknights. 100% deserved. And I love the design of it. I think it looks great. I think it's super adorable. I love the golden apple musicians marching alongside her. Phenomenal. And then Ark gets a really cool looking skin. He looks like a traveling Chinese medicine seller. Or perhaps he's a drug dealer trying to pass for a Chinese medicine seller. He looks really cool. Very, very cool looking skin. And I think it very much improves on his base design. Along with that, they talked a little bit about the event itself, what kind of enemies you can expect. There's going to be a boss with infinite revival mechanic. There was new operator modules. Modules is an upcoming game feature coming up in the summer event. You unlock it for a character and it will modify their abilities in a certain way. Just to give you an example, for Firewatch, her module is that every time she shoots an enemy and they don't die, she gains 1 SP. So it's going to give you something to complement the class. It's essentially a way of buffing older characters in a way that isn't just adjusting numbers and without having to rework the unit. They also showed off a new feature to customize your home screen in the game. You can now select different backgrounds. The Doctor will always be standing there in the same position, but it'll take place in different locations. And you can also customize the home screen music as well. It's a minor addition, but it's the sort of thing I really like. Arknights has a very nice aesthetic to it in terms of the interface design and the backgrounds and the music and everything, particularly the music. Arknights has such good music, and it's a real shame when an event ends and the music is no longer there, because you just want to keep listening to it. There's also the usual freebies that come with major events: free daily Arundum, free daily pulls, the 10 pull ticket, you know, the usual. There hasn't been any reduction in the number of rewards. New furniture store, obviously. Nearl being a limited unit, there's going to be the free skin ticket if you bought her summer skin, which, by the way, we are going to have a chance to buy her skin in the upcoming months. There was also, in Nearl's limited banner, W and Rosmontis will be the, I suppose you could say, the off-banner limited units that have a small bonus chance of being pulled, and they are getting their own live 2D added for both of them, and they look really cool. In particular, the W live 2D has a great animation, which you can see on screen. As I mentioned earlier, there was the tease for the SilverAsh story. It's going to focus on the country where SilverAsh comes from, which is a land divided into 3 territories. There's SilverAsh's family, the Brown Tails, which seem to be ruled over by, I think, like a squirrel type of people. And there's also a faction that looks to be ruled over by bears, I think. It's probably very much inspired by Russia. So we might get some really cool stories there. I hope it's a good one. Following shortly after the Near Light event, they announced the return of integrated strategies, which seems to have a theme on Phantom, very Halloween-ish looking aesthetic to it, very gothic. Integrated strategies is a rogue-like mode, and the cool thing about this integrated strategies is it's going to be permanent. Last time it was just a limited event. It was considered by many to be the best game mode that they ever included in the game. So people are really excited for this, and I'm really looking forward to it. I love the look of it. I love the aesthetic that they're going for, and the gameplay sounds really fun. And they also announced the inclusion of Ark, Hung, and Justice Knight, the sniper robot, being added to recruitment. And then lastly, outside of the game, they announced 2 major new multimedia projects. The first, we have the Arknights Manga. It follows the members of the A1 unit, which is most of the 3 stars. I'm not too excited for this because I'm not particularly interested in these characters, except for maybe Cruz, who I think is just hilarious. But maybe the reason I'm not that interested in these characters is because they don't get that much attention. So perhaps I will be more fond of them by the end of this manga. Who knows? It could be quite good. The other thing they announced, which people are more excited for, is the Arknights anime. There was just a short teaser, which included a reveal of the Doctor's voice. Now, I do not have any high hopes whatsoever. Several reasons. 1, game to anime adaptations, never been particularly great. At best, you get something average. 2, I don't think the Doctor's voice is good at all. I think the casting is pretty horrendous. Now, wait to be seen, but to me, the Doctor's voice just doesn't suit the type of story and the type of scenario that's going on. I really hope this is not some shonen protagonist. That would be the worst option to go with. And another thing that I'm concerned about is when a character in a game is up to the player, as in the character themselves has no personality, usually silent. Sometimes you can even choose how that character looks. Whenever it gets adapted, the adaptation team is very hesitant to actually commit to one direction with the character. And the character ends up being very shallow and very empty because they couldn't pick a personality. They couldn't pick something defining about the character for us to care about. The protagonist ends up being the most boring character in the show because they have no personality. They have nothing. They're trying not to upset the fans that see the character in a different way, rather than just picking one direction for the character and making it a really good character. And this has happened time and time again. Of all the things announced in this, for me, the anime is the thing that's probably going to end up being the worst. I'm open to it being great, and I hope it is, but I very much doubt it will be. I very much doubt it will be. What I'm most excited for is Nearl as a limited unit. Nearl, to me, is a great candidate. I love Nearl's look and design. I will definitely be saving up to pull for her. I don't care so much for Flametail or the other units that come on the banner, mainly because I just don't need them, but they do look like very good units to use. It does look like a very solid banner. As far as the other skins go, the Rosa one looks very cool, although Rosa isn't a unit I have, so I'll probably not be getting it. But if you do use Rosa, oh man, very cool skin. Myrtle, obviously the best skin. By far the best and the most deserved skin in the lineup. However, above all of this, the best thing announced, and I really think people are sleeping on this, and I hope you noticed it earlier. Should we take another look? See that? Look closer. Look closer. Closer. You see that? You see that? Is Passenger going to become a god? How hilarious would it be if Passenger's module turned him into the best caster in the game? That would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm really curious to see if my suffering pool has turned into a god pool in 7 months' time. We'll see. So, what are you most excited about? Are there any particular units that you're going to be pulling for? When do you think you're going to start saving for those units? Now, are there any skins that you want to get? And what new gameplay content are you most looking forward to? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.